Story number 1. Echoes of the Lost University. It was the fall of 2001, and the air had that crisp bite that only Texas could offer on a Halloween night. I was driving back from a party with 3 friends, Anna and Sarah, 2 lovely tourists from the Midwest keen on experiencing a Texan Halloween, and Mike, a local journalist with a nose for adventure and an eye for the unexplained. As we laughed and recounted tales of the evening, a wild, shadowy figure darted in front of the car. My heart raced, and I swerved to avoid the creature, nearly sending us crashing. In our frantic attempts to flee the scene, we found ourselves lost and plunged deeper into a dense forest. As we went further in, the canopy above darkened the surroundings, turning our world into a hauntingly beautiful play of moonlight and shadows. Nursing our minor injuries from the rough escape, we decided to find shelter and stumbled upon an old university building, long abandoned and forgotten. We decided to stay for the night. Little did we know, the university had a dark past. Mike, always the inquisitive one, began to recount a local legend. Decades ago, a terrible accident had occurred on these grounds, killing dozens of students. Their restless spirits were rumored to still haunt the woods and the old university, especially on Halloween night. Sarah, a trained nurse, set to tending our cuts and bruises, while Anna, always the pragmatist, went about setting up a makeshift camp inside. Night fell, and as the shadows deepened, we felt an uncanny presence around us. Ghostly apparitions began to emerge from the woods. Phantom students from a bygone era, eternally trapped in their moment of doom. Anna tried to keep our spirits up, saying it was just our minds playing tricks due to our injuries and exhaustion. But Mike and I knew better. These were the ghosts of the past, desperate for their story to be told, desperate to find peace. Throughout the night, they circled us, their hollow eyes filled with sorrow and rage. Every creak of the old building, every whisper of the wind, became a chilling reminder of the tragedy that had befallen this place. We barely slept, haunted by these apparitions who seemed to intensify their attempts to communicate as dawn approached. As morning broke, we made a hurried exit. Yet, the experience left an indelible mark. Mike, with his journalist's tenacity, delved into the university's history. He discovered that a professor named Dr. Ethan had tampered with forbidden rituals, intending to transcend mortality. The result? An explosion that killed many students instantly. Their souls, bound by the ritual, remained tethered to the university, causing the accidents on the roads by manifesting in front of drivers, much like they did with us. Mike's revelations made headlines. With his findings, a team of scientists and paranormal experts came to investigate. As the story spread, it prompted a resurgence of interest in the university, and efforts began to consecrate the ground and release the trapped souls. Years later, the university became a memorial, a testament to the dangers of tampering with the unknown. As for me, the memory of that fateful night remains, a chilling reminder that sometimes, the past refuses to be forgotten. Story number 2. The eerie echoes of Elmsworth University. The year was 2002, and the autumn leaves blanketed suburban New York in a riot of colors. My friends, Lila, Rachel, and I were students at a city college, taking a brief respite from the burdens of academia. On that fateful Halloween night, we decided to attend a party located on the outskirts of town, close to the ruins of the once famous Elmsworth University. We were in high spirits as we left the party, our laughter echoing in the still night. But as we walked, a wild, ghostly deer sprang from the shadows, its eyes ablaze. Panicked, we fled into the woods, each of us tumbling over fallen branches and jagged rocks. Disoriented and bruised, we decided to seek refuge for the night. And there it stood in the distance, the towering silhouette of the old Elmsworth University. Though abandoned, the building provided us some comfort. We took shelter in what appeared to be a former classroom, our belongings scattered haphazardly around us. Lila, always the responsible one, suggested we see a doctor the next day for our cuts and bruises. Night deepened, and the peace of the old university was shattered by chilling whispers and ghostly apparitions. Students of the past, dressed in dated attire, roamed the halls, their transparent forms shimmering in the moonlight. Rachel, ever the skeptic, believed it was just our imaginations playing tricks on us, but I felt an inexplicable connection with these spirits. They seemed desperate to communicate, their mournful cries a testament to some unspeakable tragedy. It was a sleepless night, with every shadow holding a new terror. By dawn, we were desperate to leave, our harrowing encounter with the supernatural leaving us traumatized. The news of our ordeal spread like wildfire. A journalist named Martin, fascinated by our experience, began to dig deeper. He was joined by Dr. Eleanor, a historian with an expertise in paranormal events. Their combined efforts unveiled a horrific tale. In the late 1800s, Elmsworth University was the pride of suburban New York. But one night, a fire broke out in the chemistry lab, its flames engulfing the entire West Wing. Many students perished, unable to escape the blaze. Their souls, trapped by the tragedy, lingered, causing the series of unexplained accidents on the nearby road, where apparitions would suddenly appear before drivers. Martin's explosive article, coupled with Dr. Eleanor's research, brought Elmsworth University back into the limelight. Paranormal experts and historians thronged the site, aiming to give the lost souls the peace they deserved. As for me, that Halloween night forever changed my perspective on the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. Every autumn, as the leaves turn and the chill sets in, I remember the lost souls of Elmsworth University and hope they've found the tranquility they were denied in life. Story number 3. Whispers of Westwood University. The memories of that night in 2003 still haunt me. Halloween, which should have been a night of innocent frights and fun, took a dark turn for me and my high school friends, Mia, Jessica, Zoe, and Claire. The 5 of us had just left a lively Halloween bash in suburban Los Angeles. High on candy and youthful adrenaline, we decided to take the longer, scenic route back home. As we wandered, laughing and recounting stories from the party, a creature, half shadow, half reality, darted across our path. Panic ensued, and we bolted into the dense woods, our pace only halted by the numerous cuts and bruises we sustained. Emerging from the trees, we found ourselves in the foreboding courtyard of the long-abandoned Westwood University. Given its state of disrepair and the encroaching night, we decided to camp out inside one of the less damaged buildings, hoping to wait for dawn before making our way back. But the dead of night brought no peace. The air grew colder, and ghostly figures began to emerge from the surrounding woods, their faces etched with sorrow and anger. These apparitions were students, dressed in styles long out of fashion. Their mournful wails and outstretched arms sent chills down our spines. Claire, the bravest among us, tried to console and reason with the spirits, but they seemed trapped in their own world, replaying the events of their tragic end. We spent the night wide awake, huddled together in fear, as the ghosts continued their lamentations around Westwood University. By the time the first light of dawn broke, we were exhausted and desperate to leave the cursed grounds. The news of our encounter spread quickly. It wasn't long before we were approached by Thomas, an investigative journalist, and Dr. Lydia, an anthropologist with a keen interest in local legends. As they delved into the archives, a chilling story came to light. In the 1920s, Westwood University was a thriving institution, However, one fateful evening, an experiment in the university's physics department went awry, causing a massive explosion that claimed numerous lives. The incident was quickly covered up, and over time, the university was abandoned. The souls of those lost in the blast, bound to the site of their untimely demise, continued to haunt the grounds and nearby roads, often startling drivers and causing accidents. Thomas's articles and Dr. Lydia's studies brought renewed attention to Westwood University. A massive cleanup and memorial service were organized to finally give the restless souls the peace they deserved. As for me and my friends, we moved on from that night, but it forever changed us. The Westwood experience taught us the importance of respecting the past and understanding that every place has a story, waiting for the right moment to be told. Story number 4. Specters of Sycamore University. The memories of Halloween 2004 are etched into my soul. The dense fog of San Francisco that evening set an eerie backdrop as my best friend, Lily, and I joined a party in one of its suburbs. Spirits were high, laughter was infectious, and the night seemed perfect. However, fate had a different plan for us. As we decided to walk off our high spirits, an uncanny, swift-moving shadow crossed our path. Startled, we sprinted into the dense woods, getting scratched and bruised by the branches and rocks that seemed to reach out for us. With darkness engulfing our surroundings, we stumbled upon the desolate ruins of what we later learned was Sycamore University. Choosing safety over the chilling aura of the university, we decided to spend the night there. We searched the decrepit building, finding a somewhat intact room to settle in. As Lily dressed our wounds, the unmistakable chill of Halloween began to permeate the air. As night deepened, the quiet woods came alive with spectral whispers and ghostly apparitions. Ethereal students roamed the surroundings, their faces twisted in pain and anguish. Their otherworldly cries haunted the university's corridors, reminding us of the sanctity of Halloween's night. We huddled close, comforting each other, and prayed for dawn. When morning finally broke, we wasted no time in leaving the cursed grounds of Sycamore University behind. Our harrowing experience became the talk of the town. Simon, an investigative journalist, and Dr. Marina, an experienced paranormal researcher, approached us. Their combined efforts unearthed the tragic past. Sycamore University, in its heyday, was a beacon of education. But one night, a massive earthquake rocked its foundation. Many students were trapped and perished within its confines. However, the university's reputation was paramount, and the incident was downplayed. The spirits of the victims, feeling betrayed and forgotten, lingered, causing the numerous inexplicable accidents on the nearby roads. Simon's articles and Dr. Marina's findings were a wake-up call. There was a renewed effort to acknowledge the tragedy and memorialize the lost souls. Rituals and ceremonies were conducted to help the restless spirits find peace. For Lily and me, life moved on, but we never forgot that Halloween night. The encounter taught us that history, if ignored, has a haunting way of reminding us of its presence. Every time I pass the now restored Sycamore University, I offer a silent prayer, hoping that the souls we encountered have finally found their peace. Story number 5. Ghosts of Greystone University. It was the Halloween night of 2005. Miami's skies were crystal clear with the promise of a night filled with merriment. My friends, Emily, Rebecca, and I had just wrapped up a lively party in a Miami suburb, our spirits as high as the moon that night. As we sauntered down the road, giddy with youthful exuberance, a grotesque, shadowy figure, likely a wild animal, bolted in front of us. Fright overtook us, and we dashed into the woods. But our panic-stricken sprint came at a cost, with us gathering a collection of bruises and scratches from our unintended forest adventure. With darkness as our only guide, we stumbled upon the haunting remnants of Greystone University. Rebecca, our most pragmatic friend, suggested we shelter there for the night. We rummaged through the old building, finding a room that seemed safe. As Emily tended to our wounds, the realization hit: it was Halloween night, and we were in an abandoned university. The atmosphere was thick with foreboding. As night seeped deeper, ghostly apparitions manifested around the university. Phantoms in graduation gowns, specters of professors with their lectures frozen in time. Their mournful gazes and chilling whispers gripped us with fear. We clung to each other, the weight of countless lost souls pressing down on us, reminding us that on Halloween, the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest. When dawn graced the skies, we made our escape, our souls heavy with the haunting memories of a night we could never forget. The tale of our harrowing experience spread, drawing the attention of Alexander, a seasoned journalist, and Dr. Naomi, a renowned archaeologist with an inclination toward the supernatural. Their combined investigations unveiled Greystone University's dark history. Decades ago, a catastrophic structural failure in the main building led to the death of countless students and faculty. The tragedy, buried in bureaucratic red tape and corruption, was never publicly acknowledged. Those lost souls, bound to the very place of their untimely deaths, haunted the university's grounds and the adjoining roads, leading to numerous unexplained accidents over the years. Alexander's articles, coupled with Dr. Naomi's documentation, forced the city to recognize the tragedy. A memorial was erected, and spiritual healers were brought in to cleanse the land and guide the spirits to their final resting place. The scars of that Halloween night still linger for Emily, Rebecca, and me. But the restoration of Greystone University and the acknowledgement of its dark past serves as a reminder: the dead may be gone, but their stories demand to be told, and their souls deserve peace. Story number 6. The Shadows of Sunhaven University. Halloween 2006 remains the most haunting chapter of my life. As the fiery hues of fall painted Orlando, my high school friends, Ava, Sophie, Haley, and I decided to mark the holiday with a memorable celebration. After a festive party in the suburbs, our spirits were light, our laughter unrestrained. However, the tranquility of our walk was shattered when a cryptic creature, perhaps a lynx or a large fox, suddenly crossed our path. In our startled state, we bolted into the dense woods. Tripping, scraping against trees, and stumbling over rocks, we finally emerged in the clearing of what was once Sunhaven University. Given our predicament and the encroaching darkness, we decided that the derelict building would be our refuge for the night. As Sophie and Haley set up a makeshift camp in a forgotten lecture hall, Ava and I ventured to find any remnants of civilization or a way out. But as night draped its dark cloak over Sunhaven, the true horror unfolded. Ethereal figures, students of a time gone by, appeared from the shadows. Their faces, twisted in perpetual terror and sorrow, seemed to be trapped in their final moments. The chilling whispers and mournful cries left no doubt: Sunhaven University was haunted. We spent the night clutching onto each other, praying for daylight. Our previous laughter was replaced with silent tears and whispered comforts. By morning, we fled Sunhaven, our lives forever changed by the night's terrors. Word of our harrowing experience reached Rosa, an investigative journalist, and Dr. Oliver, a historian with a penchant for unraveling urban legends. Their combined efforts shed light on the tragic past of Sunhaven University. In the early 1900s, Sunhaven was the jewel of Orlando's education scene. But disaster struck when a fire, resulting from a failed experiment, consumed a section of the university. The catastrophe claimed numerous lives, but the university's board, in a bid to protect its reputation, kept the accident under wraps. These betrayed souls, still yearning for justice and recognition, haunted the university grounds and the surrounding roads, causing a series of unexplained accidents. Rose's hard-hitting articles, combined with Dr. Oliver's meticulous research, prompted the authorities to officially recognize and memorialize the tragedy. Efforts were made to consecrate the grounds of Sunhaven, ensuring the restless spirits found their long-overdue peace. To this day, the memory of that Halloween night lingers. But the legacy of Sunhaven University stands as a testament to the importance of acknowledging and respecting the past, lest it returns to haunt the present. Story number 7. Haunting at the Nevada Nexus University. The glittering lights of Las Vegas can be deceiving. Beyond its shimmering facade lie tales as old and dark as time itself. The Halloween of 2007 stands as a testament to this very sentiment. My friend, Carla, and I had journeyed to the Sin City for a vacation, and after enjoying a party in one of its suburbs, decided to take a detour through the tranquil outskirts. The serenity of our walk was broken when a wild creature, possibly a coyote, leaped out from the underbrush. Startled, we ran aimlessly into the woods, our pace hampered by the rough terrain. Bruised and disoriented, we chanced upon the dilapidated structure of what was once the Nevada Nexus University. With darkness looming and no immediate way out, we reluctantly decided to take shelter inside. As Carla set up a small area for us to rest, I tried to tune into any radio station on my portable radio for comfort. But with nightfall, the tranquility of the deserted university morphed into an arena of terror. Spectral figures, bearing the marks of a bygone era, emerged from the depths of the woods. Their hollow eyes and haunting moans made it clear, these were the souls of individuals who met untimely ends, forever tethered to the place of their demise. Sleep eluded us, as the eerie apparitions seemed to grow more restless with each passing hour, reminding us that on Halloween, the world of the living and the dead merge. Daylight couldn't come sooner. We fled the Nevada Nexus University at first light, eager to leave its haunting memories behind. Our tale caught the attention of Derek, a journalist with a fascination for the supernatural, and Professor Lena, an academic who had once taught at the very university we had stumbled upon. Their investigation unearthed a grim history. Decades prior, Nevada Nexus University was an esteemed institution. However, a massive sinkhole had opened up beneath one of its main buildings, swallowing students and faculty alive. In an attempt to protect the reputation of both the university and the city, this tragic event was hushed up. These restless souls, denied justice, lingered on, leading to numerous inexplicable accidents on the nearby roads. Derek's exposé, combined with Professor Lena's testimonials, forced a public acknowledgement of the tragedy. Rituals were conducted to appease and free the spirits of Nevada Nexus. For Carla and me, the memories of that Halloween night still send shivers down our spines. Yet, the restored Nevada Nexus University now stands not just as an educational institution, but also as a monument to the souls that once sought acknowledgement and peace. Story number 8. The Phantom Passageway of Polynesian University. In the serene suburbs of Honolulu, 2008, the night of October 31st transformed from an evening of joy to a chilling tale that I, Maya, can never forget. Along with my friends, Isabella and Leah, we embarked on a post-party journey that would indelibly mark our lives. As we sauntered along the road, our carefree chatter was interrupted by the sudden appearance of a creature, possibly a wild boar. Startled, we ran into the woods, the dense tropical foliage scratching and bruising us. Lost, tired, and disoriented, we found ourselves facing the forgotten structure of the Polynesian University. Given our predicament, we decided to find shelter within the university's confines. As Leah and I tried to make our makeshift camp as comfortable as possible, Isabella, the curious one, started exploring the vicinity, attempting to map our location. But as the clock ticked closer to midnight, the true nature of our shelter became ominously clear. Transparent figures, adorned in traditional Hawaiian attire, began to emerge, their mournful chants echoing through the deserted halls. Their presence was overwhelming, a dance of spirits reliving moments of pain and sorrow. Huddled together, we endured a night filled with haunting visions and spectral melodies, each one reminding us of the sanctity of the Halloween night in the very heart of Hawaii. By the first ray of dawn, we made our hasty exit, leaving behind the ghostly inhabitants of the Polynesian University. Our terrifying ordeal caught the attention of journalist Kai and Dr. Moana, an ethnographer specializing in ancient Hawaiian culture. Together, they unveiled the tragic history of the site. Polynesian University, once a thriving institution, had been built atop ancient burial grounds, inadvertently disturbing the resting place of many. One fateful day, a massive landslide had devastated the university, leading to countless deaths. The combination of the desecrated burial grounds and the tragic accident resulted in restless spirits haunting the location. Kai's articles, backed by Dr. Moana's extensive research, initiated a movement to honor and pacify the disturbed spirits. Traditional ceremonies were held, guided by local kahunas, ensuring that the souls found their rightful peace. Looking back, the memories of that Halloween night send chills down my spine. But it also serves as a profound lesson about respecting and understanding the delicate balance between the present and the ancestral past, especially in a place as culturally rich as Hawaii. Story number 9. The Apparitions of Arlington Academia. The twilight of my senior year. A memory that should have been filled with youthful exuberance and anticipation for the future was overshadowed by the harrowing events of that Halloween night. I, Allison, along with Emma, Natalie, and Rachel, experienced a night that would forever haunt our dreams. Following a lively suburban Washington, D.C. party, the four of us embarked on a leisurely walk. However, as we tread the path, an unexpected shadow, likely a fox, darted before us. Spooked, we sprinted into the adjoining woods, our hurried flight leading to bruises and scrapes. In our disoriented state, we emerged at the foreboding structure of what was once known as Arlington Academia. Given the circumstances, we sought refuge inside the dilapidated building. As Natalie and Rachel tried to make the place hospitable, Emma, with her insatiable curiosity, began to explore the premises. As the clock struck midnight, the horror of our choice became evident. Ethereal figures, draped in academic robes, wandered the woods and hallways. Their anguished cries and ghostly presence served as a chilling reminder of the sinister significance of Halloween night. Sleep was a distant dream. The relentless haunting left us wide-eyed and trembling, fervently wishing for daybreak. Morning couldn't have arrived sooner. We fled Arlington Academia, eager to leave behind the phantoms of the past. Word of our terrifying ordeal reached the ears of journalist David and Dr. Elise, a parapsychologist. Their collaborative investigations unveiled a tragic history. Arlington Academia, in its prime, was the pride of Washington, D.C. Yet, a devastating fire, believed to have been caused by a malfunctioning science experiment, had razed a section of the university. The death toll was significant, but what was even more horrific was the cover-up that followed. To protect the institution's reputation, the tragic event was buried deep in bureaucratic paperwork. These souls, yearning for justice and acknowledgement, roamed the university grounds and the adjoining roads, often startling drivers, leading to multiple road mishaps. David's articles, backed by Dr. Elise's thorough research, shed light on the dark history of Arlington Academia. The revelation resulted in a collective community effort to pay homage to the lost souls and ensure they found solace. Years have passed, but the memories of that night remain vivid. For me, Emma, Natalie, and Rachel, Arlington Academia is not just a forgotten structure but a somber reminder of the past's ability to haunt the present if left unacknowledged. Story number 10. Mysteries of Midwest Metropolitan University. That Halloween night in 2010 is one I'll never forget. It was supposed to be a light-hearted trip through the Chicago suburbs with my friend, Clara. The night was young, and our spirits were high, fresh from a Halloween bash. But fate had other plans. As we navigated the meandering roads, a wild creature, perhaps a raccoon or a feral cat, darted before us. Startled, we instinctively ventured into the woods, tripping over concealed roots and obscured rocks. After what felt like hours, the looming silhouette of what seemed to be the old Midwest Metropolitan University came into view. With no immediate way out and nightfall deepening, we decided the university's forsaken halls would be our refuge. Clara, always the prepared one, managed to find a flashlight in her bag, and we explored the premises, settling in an old lecture hall. But as darkness enveloped the university, eerie phenomena began. Transparent figures, appearing to be students of another era, floated through the corridors. Whispers of past conversations, laughter turning into sobs, and faint music from a forgotten ball filled the air. The realization was unmistakable: we were not alone. The spirits of Midwest Metropolitan University were very much present and were not at peace. Morning's first light couldn't come fast enough. We fled the scene, the haunting memories of the night tightly wrapped around our souls. Word of our experience reached the desks of journalist Ethan and paranormal investigator Dr. Lydia. Their combined efforts soon unveiled the university's tragic past. Decades ago, Midwest Metropolitan University was the pride of Chicago's academic scene. However, tragedy struck one winter evening when a gas leak led to a catastrophic explosion in the university's main hall during a grand ball. The incident was hushed up, the university's board too concerned about its reputation. But the souls of those who perished were not so easily silenced. Ethan's exposé, coupled with Dr. Lydia's findings, awakened the community to the long-suppressed tragedy. A memorial was erected, and a spiritual ceremony was conducted, guided by local spiritual leaders, ensuring that the trapped spirits found their deserved peace. Today, while the memories of that Halloween night still haunt my dreams, they also serve as a reminder that the past, if ignored, can cast long shadows into the present, urging us to acknowledge and heal old wounds. Story number 11. Echoes from Bay State's hallowed halls. 2011, the fall colors painted suburban Boston in fiery reds and ambers, making it a picturesque setting for Halloween celebrations. However, for me, Sarah, and my friends, Jessica and Megan, that particular Halloween would forever be painted in shades of terror. Post a lively Halloween party, the night took a harrowing turn. An unexpected animal, perhaps a deer startled by the revelry, crossed our path. Panic set in, and we found ourselves racing into the woods. The darkness, intensified by the tree's canopy, disoriented us. It was in this bewildered state that we stumbled upon the remnants of what was once Bay State University. Recognizing the need for shelter, we ventured inside, our cell phones serving as our only source of light. As Megan and Jessica tried to create a comfortable space in an old classroom, I decided to scout the immediate vicinity, hoping to find an exit route. But the peace of the derelict building was soon shattered by the weight of its tragic history. As midnight approached, spectral figures, draped in early 20th century attire, began to manifest. They paced the halls, whispered tales of sorrow, and, most chillingly, seemed to notice us, curious about the living amidst them. Their message was clear: they were souls trapped in liminality, seeking release. The harrowing wails and ghostly apparitions ensured that sleep remained elusive. We huddled together, comforting one another until dawn. With the first light, we made our escape, leaving behind the haunted halls of Bay State. Our ordeal caught the attention of investigative journalist Thomas and Dr. Rebecca, an historian who had been researching the university's past. Their investigations shed light on the forgotten tragedy. Bay State University, in its heyday, was an academic beacon. However, a significant part of its history was shrouded in mystery. A catastrophic fire had engulfed the university in the 1920s, claiming numerous lives. The university's trustees, fearing the potential impact on the institution's reputation, had suppressed news of the incident. Thomas's compelling articles, supported by Dr. Rebecca's meticulous research, revealed the truth of Bay State's dark past. Memorial services were conducted, and the local community came together to remember and honor those who had perished. For Jessica, Megan, and me, that Halloween night remains a chilling reminder of the importance of remembering and acknowledging history. To forget is to be haunted. Story number 12. The ghostly echoes of Liberty's Legacy University. The autumn of 2012 remains etched in my memory for its haunting events. I, Ava, with my schoolmates, Zoe, Sophia, and Mia, took a fateful stroll in suburban Philadelphia after a lively Halloween party, leading to a night that would challenge our very understanding of reality. Our laughter and cheerful banter was suddenly interrupted when an animal, possibly a startled fox, bolted across our path. Fear propelled us into the dense woods, with overhanging branches scratching and tripping us. After what felt like hours, we found ourselves standing before the intimidating and long-abandoned structure of Liberty's Legacy University. With no better option in sight, we decided to hunker down in the old edifice. As Sophia and Mia set up a makeshift camp in a former lecture hall, Zoe, driven by a mix of bravery and curiosity, decided to explore further. As the cloak of darkness thickened, the decrepit building began revealing its somber secrets. We began to notice shadowy figures drifting through the hallways, their mournful eyes set upon us. Their whispers, fragmented stories of a life cut short, grew louder as the night progressed, emphasizing the haunting significance of All Hallows' Eve. The apparitions seemed tethered to a tragic event, their souls in agony, unable to move on. The long night was fraught with restless spirits, chilling us to the bone, and rendering sleep impossible. By morning, the spectral visions had vanished, but the weight of the night's events hung heavily upon us. We made our hasty retreat, with a desperate eagerness to put distance between us and the haunted university. Our story eventually reached the ears of journalist Oliver and Dr. Lydia, a historian familiar with Philadelphia's past. Their combined research and investigations unearthed a dark chapter in Liberty's Legacy University's history. The institution, in its prime, had been the pride of Philadelphia. But a tragic event in the early 1900s, where a section of the university collapsed during a grand celebration, resulted in numerous casualties. The incident, rather than being acknowledged and mourned, was swept under the rug to protect the university's reputation. Oliver's articles, backed by Dr. Lydia's findings, reintroduced the tragedy to modern Philadelphia. Vigils were held, and the community rallied together to pay homage to the departed souls, hoping to offer them the peace they so desperately sought. For Zoe, Sophia, Mia, and me, that Halloween night was a potent reminder of how deeply the past can resonate in the present. The spirits of Liberty's Legacy University may have found their peace, but their echoes will always remain in our hearts. Story number 13. The Haunting of Lone Star University. The autumn of 2013 was an exhilarating time. I, Elise, and my close friend, Laura, decided on an impromptu trip through the Dallas suburbs, a decision we would soon regret. After a lively party, our spirits were high. But as we walked, an erratic coyote emerged from the shrubs. Frightened, we sprinted into the encompassing woods, losing our bearings as we ran. Our relief was palpable when the dilapidated Lone Star University came into view through the trees. Though the university had been abandoned for decades, its old lecture halls seemed a reasonable refuge for the night. While Laura tried to set up a makeshift camp, I went to scout our surroundings. However, as midnight neared, the atmosphere around us grew cold and heavy. Wispy apparitions began to manifest, their pale silhouettes tinged with anguish. They moved through the woods and within the university walls, their eyes locked onto us. Their ghostly whispers narrated tales of a bygone era, each one punctuated by cries of despair. Terror gripped us as we realized we were amidst spirits of those who perished in an unspeakable tragedy at Lone Star University. The restless hours were punctuated by their mournful presence, each manifestation serving as a solemn reminder of a forgotten past. The morning couldn't arrive soon enough. We packed hastily and fled, vowing never to return. Our harrowing experience reached the ears of a seasoned journalist, Patrick, and Dr. Nina, an anthropologist who had been researching the local history. Their collaborative inquiry unveiled the university's grim past. Lone Star University, during the 1920s, was a bustling center of education. But its history was marred by a fateful event, a massive fire in the main hall during a winter gala, resulting in countless deaths. The tragedy was hastily concealed by the trustees, the pain of the lost souls buried under bureaucracy. Patrick's articles, combined with Dr. Nina's methodical research, reintroduced the forgotten calamity to modern Dallas. Memorial services and candlelight vigils were held in honor of the lost souls, helping them find the peace they so desperately craved. For Laura and me, that unforgettable Halloween night was a grim reminder of the weight history can bear upon the present. While the departed souls of Lone Star University might have found their solace, their tales will forever echo in our memories. Story number 14. Whispers of the Phoenix Desert University. It's strange how some nights, the ones meant for fun, can twist into a tale of terror. This is the haunting narrative of one such Halloween night in 2014, a night when the past refused to stay buried in the suburban outskirts of Phoenix. It began with an intoxicating party. I, Emily, along with my friends, Sarah and Leah, were jubilant. As we walked back, laughing and reminiscing, an animal, probably a desert fox, darted in front of us. The sudden surprise made us divert from our path, leading us deeper into the woods. Dusk soon turned to night, and we realized, with mounting dread, that we were lost. As the chilling breeze played with our hair, the silhouette of the old Phoenix Desert University came into view, abandoned and ominous against the dark sky. We decided to seek refuge within its stone walls. Sarah and Leah tried to make the best of our dire situation, setting up a small area to rest. I couldn't shake the feeling that we weren't alone. As the witching hour approached, that dread became a stark reality. The whispers began first, soft, sorrowful murmurings that seemed to echo from the very walls. Then, ghostly apparitions appeared, lost souls, their eyes conveying tales of a tragedy long forgotten. The weight of their anguish pressed upon us, making the night unbearable. Every shadow seemed to move, every gust of wind carried lamentations, and the realization hit: we were amidst the spirits of students who had met a tragic end at the university decades ago. Dawn couldn't come sooner. With the first light, we fled, the chilling memories of the night firmly etched in our minds. Our harrowing experience didn't go unnoticed. Journalist Mr. Richard Turner and Dr. Isabel Martinez, a historian, were intrigued by our tale. Their combined efforts unearthed a dark chapter in the university's history. Phoenix Desert University, in its heyday, had suffered an enormous tragedy. A gas leak had led to a catastrophic explosion in the main science lab. Many students lost their lives, their dreams buried beneath the rubble. The accident was swiftly covered up to save the institution's reputation. Our haunted experience brought this tragedy back to the limelight. Dr. Martinez, with Mr. Turner's help, spearheaded a movement to honor the deceased students. A memorial was erected on the university grounds, giving those restless souls a chance at peace. For Sarah, Leah, and me, that Halloween changed our perception of life and the afterlife. The spirits of Phoenix Desert University might have found solace, but their whispers will forever haunt our dreams. Story number 15. Shadows of San Diego State. The year 2015 was one for the books. The memories I have of that Halloween night in the San Diego suburbs still send shivers down my spine. Every time I revisit those memories, it's like opening a door to a realm of anguish and despair. It was the perfect night. My friends Maya, Sophie, Lily, and Jenna and I had just left the party. The laughter, the glitz, the glamour, all was well until a coyote darted in front of us. Panicking, we made a run for it and soon found ourselves deep within the confines of a wooded area. It was then that the silhouette of an old university building beckoned to us, promising shelter. The decaying bricks and creaky wooden doors of the old San Diego State Building became our sanctuary for the night. Night fell, and what started as a fun adventure quickly took a dark turn. The air grew colder, and a stifling silence enveloped us. The stillness was shattered by the faint cries and whispers echoing in the distance. Slowly, the apparitions began to appear, students in outdated clothes, wandering the woods with a lost, haunted look in their eyes. We huddled together, trying to console one another. Every time we closed our eyes, we could feel their cold, lingering presence around us, the weight of their sorrow pressing down. Morning light was our saving grace. The moment dawn broke, we sprinted out, leaving behind the chilling memories of that night. The news of our ordeal reached Mike, an investigative journalist, and Dr. Eleanor, a historian who'd been researching the university's past. Together, they uncovered the buried story of a fire that had engulfed the university's science wing in the 1950s. Many students had perished, their screams forever echoing in the hollow corridors. Mike's articles brought attention to this concealed history, and Dr. Eleanor's research validated our haunting experience. Together, they initiated efforts to commemorate the souls lost to the fire, ensuring they'd never be forgotten again. The events of that Halloween have left an indelible mark on us. Although the lost souls of the old San Diego State University might have found their peace, the echoes of that night will forever resonate with me.